Yeah, on air. Look at that. Flipping heck. Who'd have thought? I just stopped that. Wow. This is getting a bit crazy, guys. It's 8:25 here in Central Europe. I've got 4 minutes to go until I go live on LinkedIn, which is frankly a little bit dodgy at the moment. I see what the stream. There's nothing streaming on it yet because I can't go live, and I can't go live until the booking goes live, and the booking goes live in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So today's talk I'm going to focus on is it's not your fault, but how are we going to make it better? How are we going to change things? And I'm painting a scenario for you, a scenario of people at work who come home exhibiting all the signs of being stressed. So what does that mean? Well, you've probably witnessed it. You've probably been that partner who comes home and your fellow partner, be it a man or a woman, generally, let's be clear, it's generally a man who's gone to work and the female partner is staying at home to look after children, run the household, and do all those other multitasking things that most people take for granted. And he comes home and he's like a bear with a sore head. He's like, terrible day. And unfortunately, it's not been resolved and it's not been dealt with and it's not been sorted out in the workplace. So there has to be an outlet for it. And you're it. So you're the one who gets the I've had a terrible day malarkey. You're the one. And yet you're the one supporting the whole constellation, the whole family, the whole thing stays together. Now, from the old male style, and I'm very grateful for my younger people, family and friends. Let's see, another 1 minute, 50 seconds. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is just a preload. Will be edited out in due course. Please wait for another, what does it say on the clock, 1.5 minutes before the actual broadcast starts. This is the warm-up phase. This is me getting my thoughts together. This is me drinking a bit of coffee to get going, as it were. Let's take that off because that doesn't look good. Yes, better. Because then that's another thing I've learned about Riverside. I'm broadcasting through Riverside. If you keep that little extra window open, it's not playing, it switches you off, or YouTube thinks there's nothing to be seen, which is not great, actually. Okay, another 50 seconds. La 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 la. Bit froggy today. Don't know what's going on. Bit on the congested side. I've got to stop moving the table as well. So going to go live in just a few seconds. Let's see if I can hit the button as it's going live. Maybe I should play this live as it's going in. No, well, that didn't want to happen. So are we going to go live in 5, 4, 3? Unbelievable. Unbloody believable. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Here we go. It's been a long build up, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you, so I won't, but LinkedIn does its thing and does its thing in a very strange way. So I thought I had all the keys in. Anyway, that's not to say, let's not get going. Today is February 14th. It's a Wednesday. My name is Martin Daubney. I'm coming to you live from just outside Basel in Switzerland, where Inspire Coaching GmbH is based. And we are a Basel-based coaching company that specializes in helping people be at their very, very best on a daily basis without going to burnout. And it's the topic of today. It's kind of fitting that it's Valentine's Day as well, because it's not necessarily just the person that's involved here. Before I go on any further, it would be lovely to know you're here. It would be lovely. The stream health, actually, it says it's poor, so goodness only knows what. It's not your fault, but that's the title of my talk. I thought they were helping me understand it's not my fault that the stream quality is poor. Frankly, I don't know what to do about it, but we are where we are. If you're there and you're live, it would be lovely to have a comment or two, see if I can tap into some way of doing that. But here we are. So I know it's not your fault, but what are we going to do about it? Where did that come from? Well, as you know, and those people who do know me, I work in organizations helping people and teams really, really be at their very best, getting to that wonderful high performance state. And for teams, that's the golden chalice. You know, we have full of trust and full of psychological safety. That means that we can discuss things with respect and openness without people getting offended and without anybody having a go at each other, and the residual anger in the team isn't there. It doesn't need to be there because we generate greater, deeper understanding of each other. When I go to talk to people, though, it's a slightly different matter because, and here's an assumption, but I think it's borne out by experience, people tend not to want to admit that they've got a problem or they're facing from their space of reality an insurmountable challenge that they need help with. Nearly everyone I speak to from the workplace has come into me from a sort of management, a leadership role of some sort. And in that space, when we are a leader, when we are being given that exalted position, we kind of take on a huge amount of responsibility with it if you're doing it properly. And quite a bit of assumption that we can do this without help. Now, there are very, very few naturally born leaders. One of my previous podcasts, LinkedIn Lives, was talking about the research that came out of Gallup that said only 1 in 10 leaders in the workplace, I'm surprised it's as high as that, are considered to be natural born. The rest of them do need help and coaching and development in the role. And surprise, surprise, it's not one of those jobs that you can just be told on a Friday afternoon, oh, next week you'll be leading this team, off you go. And on Monday, through that weekend, miraculously, you've developed all the talents and skills required to be the natural born leader. It's not happening. It takes time to do it. So if you are that person, the chances are you're finding this stressful. And the chances are, big chance, that you don't want to admit that because that's perceived as a kind of weakness on your part that you can't do this. The difference is actually the mentality is you might not be able to do this yet, but there's every chance that with the right coaching and talent development, you will be able to do it because you're a human. And if you're open-minded and in the learning space, you'll be able to do it. So rest easy, just get the right sort of help. But you're not going to ask for it. Now, let me paint you a very generic scenario. And I'm speaking to really those people who come I'm based in Switzerland. It's a very multicultural, diverse environment in Switzerland. And there's a huge number of people working in large organizations who weren't born here. You can call them what you like. You can call them expats. you can call them immigrants, but however you define them, whatever way that is, they are in large organizations bringing talent from outside of Switzerland into Switzerland, making it a much more diverse and rich environment to work in. Most people come with a partner. And here's the big stereotype. Most of the time, the male of a binary partnership, well, one of them will go to work. I don't want to go suck down that road. But one of the partnership will go and take the job in the large organization, and the other one will stay at home and do all the mundanity of life, but also looking after the children who are developing slowly and integrating them into Swiss culture, integrating them into the schooling process, dealing with the tax forms and the bureaucracy and the language and all of those things to make it easier. So they're known as, they're known as trailing spouses. More generously and realistically, they are very much known as supporting spouses, or maybe not even spouses, but you know what I mean, partner, supporting partner. And typically, it's the man that goes to work in the large organization and the woman stays at home and does all the housework. Now, how do I know this? Well, I talk to people. And a lot of the people I come to are in that binary relationship, and that's how it's expressed. If that's not your particular setup, I apologize, but hopefully you can use that as a metaphor for how you are. So let's say one partner goes to work and does all the corporate work and climbs the ladder and gets the big pension pot, and they retire happily ever after. And the other one stays at home and does all the child rearing stuff. And I have many a story from senior leaders whose children tell them they're not there enough, and but also directly from actually the woman of the partnership. And let me tell you, exactly a year ago, I was at what they call the Expat Expo. It's a wonderful exhibition of local football clubs and schools and financial institutions and beauty salons. And there's the whiskey shop and there's the cheese shop, and there was a couple of coaches and fitness centers and that sort of thing. And I was there last year in the Basel one. It's coming up again soon. And I'd had this big stand and it had the opportunity to ask me questions. So there's nothing worse. Well, there are many things worse, but it is a pretty dire and lonely experience to sit somewhere for 4 to 6 hours. I can't remember how long these things go on for. And to have people wander past your stall and look and smile nicely and then wander off. You think, well, could we not at least have a conversation? So I signposted literally some topics that we could talk about. And I have my book for sale. There it is. Clear your head to get ahead. You might be interested. And people would buy the book, and people would also engage in conversation. And I would ask, so, what are the topics that I've got on show there? Are you mainly interested in? And to a fault, without exception, every single one of them, where I'm going with this, said, it's not for me, it's for my husband. He's the one who's stressed. Now, hence the title of the talk. It's not your fault, but what are we going to do about it? He's the one who's stressed. Subtext of that is, and I'm the one who knows it. And he's either burying his hand in his head and saying, it'll pass, or I am strong enough, or we'll get through this, or it's just a moment in time, or he's completely oblivious to it. And the chances are he's oblivious to it. And I know what that's like. So I've been there. I've been that one who pushed through, who didn't, I thought, crikey, this is normal. This is higher pressure work than I'm used to, but it's fine. I would be the one gasping for breath in the middle of the night, waking up in a panic. And my wife wondering, what's going on? I go, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I've got to do something tomorrow. It's okay. So I would like to reassure her that everything was okay, but we both knew it wasn't. And I didn't quite get to burnout, but it was a pretty horrendous experience, the experience I had. And he's doing so much the same thing. The wage earner, the big salary earner, doing much the same thing. Now, if that happens to be a lady, Women tend to be much more open to discussing things and chatting to other women, and just seeking help. And even if it might take someone one or two goes to say, but really, are you okay? They will say, no, I'm not. I need help. Men, we're kind of wired differently. We're programmed differently, and we don't like to ask for help. It's not in the nature. We're the problem solver. We're the one who comes home and says, "How was your day, dear?" And she tells you everything about how wonderful or bad the day was, and you go, "Oh well, this is what you need to do about it." Not really listening to what's going on, and certainly not giving the impression that you've heard what's going on, because all you want to do is solve the problem and then ask what's for dinner. It's not great for relationships. So the supporting spouse, partner, recognizes these symptoms in her main wage earner, family income provider. And it's a little bit of a tricky subject. It's a very tricky thing to say. I know it's not your fault, but what can we do about it? It's one of those things that very difficult for anyone to say, but you're not all right. Generally, it's a joke. It's a joke. Telling a woman to calm down never really works. So telling anyone to calm down. I am calm. Of course I'm calm. Get out of my way. Leave me alone. Brr, all of that. You've heard it. You've heard it. You've seen it. You may even have said it. So let's cut to the quick. I'm here through where are we now? 2024. It's 12 years. 12 years this March. I've been working in the field of stress and well-being and performance management in the workplace. Inspire Coaching in Basel is that place. There we see people who are stressed and we help them and turn them around. Now, what you can do to help that partner of yours that's going through this, and you can see it, often it's the partner that can see it. We can see them being, scratchy, irritable is the word. We can see them being irritable and getting a bit difficult to get along with. And often we'll go, oh, God, not this again. Let me have another glass of wine. I need to get through this. We can see them having trouble sleeping. We can see them going for the sugary, chocolatey, carbohydratey snacks. We can see them procrastinating, putting things off, and the worry, and all those things. We see the signs, and bizarrely, as human beings, intelligent as we are, when we're stressed, we can do stupid things and not notice some of these things. And physiologically, it's a bit weird that stress will make your blood pressure go up, but somehow that makes you feel all right. If, oh, no, I've got a bit of a buzz, my blood pressure's gone up. That's why I have coffee, get the heart rate pumping. So you can see it. They might know it. You can be their mirror. If you've got children, often the children are great mirrors. Daddy, can you stop? Often children can tell you things that my son had a friend who actually got his mother to stop smoking, basically saying to him, Mum, if you don't stop smoking, you don't get any more hugs and kisses from me because you smell. I mean, that was enough. It's got to be a motivator. So a child might be a great mirror. They're always fantastic mirrors, and we can learn a lot from our children and how they respond to us. But you can be too. You can be that truly supportive person, and you can suggest having a meeting. Now, hands up, I am not a couples counselor, but I am great at getting people to communicate. Emotionally intelligent people can communicate on a really strong level, but you have to focus on the top tip here. Top tip, if you get anything out of this ramble, the top tip for communication is keep it here, keep it now, and keep it on behavior. Not about the person. The behavior that person is displaying is a function of their personality, the personality type, and the environment they're working in. So the environment at work is high pressure and keeps everything locked in. At home, it's much more relaxed, and so it all comes out. So what they're experiencing at work, they keep locked in. When they come home and they can breathe, bosh, it all comes out. And like I said, you're in the firing line. You're the one who gets it. So none of this, keep it calm, breathe down, low and slow, pick a moment, and pad in fairly gently and say, honey, I'd like to have a chat because the behavior isn't great. And here's what I'm seeing, and I'm wondering what might be driving you to that, because that's not you. In the UK, there used to be I don't know if it's still there, haven't seen it for a long time, an advert for the Snickers bar, and somebody would be a bit of a diva in the change room. Their mates would give them a Snickers bar, and that sugary, caramelly stuff would stabilize their sugar, and they're back to their normal self. It's kind of doing that with them, but also letting them talk, letting them tell you, and stay away from, you're such a jerk, you're an idiot, you're a buffoon, I hate you. None of that. Strike that out the conversation straight away. It's all about being present, meeting them where they are, and if you control your state and keep yourself in that low, slow breathing state and listen, you might get somewhere. I'd be happy to meet you both, and we can have a conversation online or face to face. Face to face in Basel, I have an office, very private, very close to the Messe. You know where that is. And just book a time and we can meet up there and just discuss for 30 minutes or so and see where we go. But give that a try. If you have someone who's a bear with a sore head who comes home from work and disrupts the harmony in the home with the behavior, it's not them, it's the behavior, then a little bit of forgiveness and a little bit of gentle questioning, probing, wondering why, wondering what's going on that brought this on, what projects are they working on, how are the people, how's the boss, and all that, then you start to get somewhere close to that absolute honesty that you both joined together for in the first place. And when you get into that space, then we can have a conversation. Now, if you're a man and you're hearing this, well, whoever you are, if you're someone who knows that you're in that space and knows that you're finding it really, really difficult, just call me. Let's have a conversation, because there is always something to do and always something to help you. And there is, I've got several programs. If you're facing going back into the workplace, having been out from burnout, and you're finding yourself triggered and worried about the environment you're going back into, I have a program for that. And if you're on that edge of burnout and you realize it, don't be guilty that you don't get to burnout. Just deal with it now. I have a program for that too. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear comments. I'd love to see anything written down there. In the LinkedIn profile, you've got all my contact details. I am from Inspire Coaching in Basel, website inspirecoaching.com. And my name's Martin Daubney. It's been lovely talking to you this morning. I believe it's all worked. I have the LinkedIn page open in front of me. It does say there's a button that says end stream. With any luck, it's recorded. And who knows? And anyway, whatever happens, there'll be a recording of this somewhere very, very soon. So have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. It is, as I say, Valentine's Day today. Coincidentally, you might have thought I'd done this on purpose, but I do a LinkedIn Live every Wednesday morning at this time. Can last anything between, where are we now, 19 minutes and 30 minutes, something like that. And no, I didn't pick Wednesday about 6 months ago when I started this, thinking, oh, one of those will be on Valentine's Day in 2024. It's a coincidence, but nevertheless, a great coincidence to reconnect with that bear with a sore head and see if you can't put some of those tips into practice. If not, or if anyway you fancy a chat, there's a link to book a free discovery call, whatever you like to call it, and we can take it from there. So have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on a LinkedIn Live next Wednesday. It's me, Martin Daubney, signing out. Bye-bye.